742. Senator Tom Cotton, good morning to you, sir. How you doing today?
Hey, Kevin, I'm doing well. Hope you and your listeners are good, too.
You made it through the election. What are your objectives next 6-year term? What are you looking at?
Well, let's get to the next 6 weeks of this Congress first, Kevin. One thing that we'll be working on over the next 6 weeks is to try to get a new coronavirus relief package, obviously, with numbers increasing across Arkansas and really all across the country. We could use that. The Senate proposed a good bill back in September that had targeted and tailored relief for the people who still need it most, those people who are out of work in places like bars or restaurants or the airlines, also to help our schools stay open or in some states get back open. So that's one real immediate priority for the next 6 weeks. A second is we have the annual defense bill. That bill has passed every year for 60 years, and it contains many important measures for Arkansas, for instance, at Little Rock Air Force Base or for our National Guard. Also helps protect our national security more broadly. And then a third priority is passing the government spending bills. Government funding runs out on December 11th. I don't want to see another temporary stopgap spending measure, especially because it hurts the Department of Defense's ability to plan for the long term. So hopefully we can get a set of spending bills that will take us all the way through the end of next September. So those are the immediate priorities we have over these last 6 weeks of this Congress, Kevin.
Talking to Senator Tom Cotton, what about that as far as COVID relief there? What's being discussed as it comes down to helping businesses and individuals?
Well, I think, unfortunately, some of the politics of the House are still interfering with us. Nancy Pelosi didn't want to pass a bill before the election because she thought they were going to win in a landslide election, expand their majority in the House, take back the Senate, win the House, and then they could just call their own shot, so to speak. Now that it looks like we're going to hold on to the Senate pending the 2 Georgia runoffs, and that she's lost seats. In fact, she's going to have the smallest majority in decades. She appears to be somewhat concerned about her own position as Speaker, and therefore she may have a desire just to stand pat until that election occurs on January 3rd. I think that's a little bit too late to wait. I think that if we went again with the kind of targeted and tailored package that we offered in September in the Senate, as opposed to the $3 trillion liberal wish list that Nancy Pelosi wants, there's more than enough votes in the House of Representatives to move that bill to the president's desk, and he has said he would sign it.
Talking to Senator Tom Cotton here on Newsradio 102.9 KARN. With that, too, you've talked about President Trump. He should, go ahead and follow the legal rules that he has to go through the election, and totally agree with him. I mean, he has those options to do his legal look. But with that said, it looks like the president may have a selection. Is there a time here where to say, okay, look, I concede and may begin to work with the new administration?
Yeah, Kevin, of course there will be a time, and that's at a time when all the ballots are counted that were legally cast. Any illegally cast ballots are excluded, and the individual states have certified these elections. I heard the lead-in to your to our interview with the report about some of the changing lawsuits that have been filed or dropped in Arizona and Pennsylvania. There's a recount going on in Georgia. These are all happening in accordance with the election laws of those states. This is a time not really for politicians anymore. This is a time for lawyers and judges to make sure that every vote is counted in accordance with those legal practices, and that's what the president and his team has said they want. This is a very close election, just like it was in 2016. In fact, in the 3 closest tipping point states, if you will, the president is currently behind by less than Hillary Clinton lost the 3 tipping point states by in 2016. So there's still more than enough time to count all the votes, to certify the election before any deadlines under the Electoral College Act comes up in December and in January.
Senator Tom Cotton, the president has made some accusations about voter fraud, that the election has been stolen, and some of these things are unproven at this point. Does this damage the integrity of the election and the U.S. democracy?
Well, Kevin, the president's lawyers are going to have the opportunity to bring forward evidence to support those claims of voter fraud. I don't think there's any question that there are instances of voter fraud in many states. I mean, we have former Arkansas politicians sitting in federal prison for trying to buy votes. The question is, from a legal standpoint, is whether or not it's proven on a wide enough scale to affect the outcome of any specific state's election. But again, there's more than enough time in accordance with state election laws and the Electoral College Act to adjudicate all those claims, to review the evidence, and have an orderly final certification of the result in each of our states.
Talking to Senator Tom Cotton, the rumors continue to swirl that you might be running for president in 2024. Are you ready to announce this morning?
You know, Kevin, I'd like to get one election on the books before we start thinking 2 elections ahead. Of course, we've not got this election on the books, not just at the presidential level, but as important for us in the Senate, at Senate level. There's 2 runoffs in Georgia. Those are vitally important that we retain control of the Senate and that Chuck Schumer not take control of the Senate agenda. That would not be good for Arkansas. That's one reason why I'm going over to Georgia tomorrow to campaign with my colleagues David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. And then, of course, we have 2022 in the meantime with John Bozeman up for re-election, and then a lot of open seats in our state as well. So let's get this election in the books before we start looking 2 elections down the road.
Well, if you do make that announcement, I want to know first, all right?
All right, Kevin.
All right, Senator Tom Cotton, good to have you on. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, 7:40.